Tennessee is going to the college football playoffs, the very first 12-team edition. It's unofficial, but it's going to happen, and it will be official soon. As Tennessee gets the victory in Nashville at FirstBank Stadium, 36-23. Hey, everybody, I'm Vince Ferrara on hand from Sports Talk on 99.1 The Sports Animal, each weekday from 6 until 9 with the ever-popular John Wilkerson. And, of course, we're here, and Tennessee took care of business right in front of us. And it was an ugly start, down 14-0, unbelievably. Opening kickoff return for a touchdown. A Dylan Sampson fumble, his fourth in 6 games. And then short field, Vandy cashed it in, jumped out to that 14-0 lead. But Tennessee dominant the rest of the way. And it was meticulous. It was a little bit of the time. Tennessee had a terrific second quarter and then had a dominant drive at the end of the first half and punching in a 96-yard TD drive that really put Tennessee ahead, and then they would never look back after that. Vols really jumped on Vanderbilt, the momentum of that, fairly quickly after going down 14-0. You saw a quick response to get it to 14-7, and then Vanderbilt got another field goal back. And then at 17-7, Tennessee goes for it near the 50-yard line on their own end on a 4th and short and doesn't convert as Vanderbilt gets a stop. They have the momentum. Then Diego Pavia goes into the end zone, and Jermod McCoy gets an interception, tips it, and then on his back, he picks the ball off in the end zone. That's the third time he has done that either at or near the end zone this year. Amazing athletic play for Jermod McCoy. And the guys in the postgame, including Josh Heupel, when I asked him about it, called that a game-changing play. And it really showed off Jermod McCoy's wide receiving skills and his ball skills. He always seems to be in really good coverage. He doesn't panic in those situations. And that was massive. And then you really saw Tennessee take over. That could have been a 24-7 deficit for the Vols. Instead, Tennessee got the ball back down 10, and then the defense started making some stops as well for the Vols. And then, late touchdown for Vanderbilt closed the gap a little bit, but you got to give Tennessee credit. They finished this game, and that the intention was to use up clock and then continue to try to score, but use up clock and get to the finish line. This was really, Josh Heupel admitted, maybe the biggest test of their depth they've had all season. Brew McCoy wasn't available from the jump. They lost Dante Thornton and Peyton Lewis during the game fairly early after Dante Thornton had the 2 touchdown passes on explosive plays. At one time he had 2 catches for 114 yards. Great day. Nico, except for the 1 interception, was outstanding in his deep balls, either on the money or a little bit underthrown, drawing a pass interference, or giving his receiver an opportunity in numerous plays with deep shots. And Tennessee had receivers wide open all over. This is one of the better days in terms of guys getting open at that wide receiver position for the Vols. So Tennessee did what it needed to do, and they handled this week with the anxiety, the stress that was in front of them. When we've seen a lot of teams not handle that their best, and certainly Tennessee didn't start its best, but it finished things off. And Josh Heupel said in the postgame too that the competitive composure of this team is one of its strengths, and we've really seen that. How many times has Tennessee had tough starts, and then they figure it out, find ways to win games? Different from Josh Heupel's reputation, but he's adapted to this team. This team adapts to what needs to be done in games, and finished with a 10-2 record and 6-2 in the SEC. And it's going to be good enough to get them in the college football playoff. Oh, by the way, number 6, Dylan Sampson, became Tennessee's all-time single-season rushing leader at 176 yards today. The Vols overall ran for over 280 yards. Just unbelievable what Tennessee was able to do in grinding out this game in the second half. And Dylan Sampson admitted that, hey, I knew it was going to be more on my shoulders. We had guys down. We had to use up clock and try to score and get to the finish line, and Tennessee certainly did. 4 touchdown passes from Nico Iamaleava. Yeah, he had the interception. That's what he was focused on in the postgame when he was asked about how he played, if it was his most complete outing. I thought he was outstanding. And his decisions to run the ball, he protected the ball when he ran, had some design keeps on RPOs. Just a really good day for Nico. Another game where he looks poised and the moment not being too big for him. I thought that was the case at Georgia, and I thought that was the case today with a lot on the line where a lot of other teams are not handling these kind of situations with maturity. And that kid is just in his second year of major college ball in a program, his first as a starter. So Tennessee gets the win, 36-23. Outstanding day by the Tennessee defense as well. Got to give them props too in the way they really contain to a large degree Diego Pavia. And how much do we talk about Eli Stowers, the outstanding tight end for Vanderbilt, who a lot of us have seen him make plays and make defenses pay. And Tennessee had a great day against him and did not let him go off as well. So got to clean up some things on special teams for sure. Not used to seeing Tennessee give up those kickoff returns. And then obviously some of those kickoffs from Josh Turbeville just did not get there. He even tried a sky kick later on. But you know what? When you can make mistakes and have room to improve, and you're going to play in the postseason, the first ever 12-team college football playoff, that's pretty strong in the second season for Tennessee. So they got some time to rest up and try to work and improve, but they get the victory against their rival, who they've obviously dominated in the series, and they were ready to play. But Tennessee staved Vanderbilt off and got the dub. And the Tennessee Volunteers are going to be playing in the college football playoff. And depending on what happens the rest of this weekend, could be hosting at Neyland Stadium. And I know some people are already projecting that will be the case. And you won't find a better atmosphere hosting a college football playoff than Neyland Stadium in Knoxville. Pretty exciting. You guys should enjoy this. I know Tennessee will. The guys are talking about how they couldn't wait to get back in the locker room, that's kind of where it hit them. Like Dylan Sampson mentioned that in the postgame. That's where it kind of hit them, that how excited everybody was in the locker room for getting a W and beating a rival. So Tennessee gets the win, 36-23 here in cold Nashville, and they handled the cold well as well. Probably better than a lot of us in the media who've been layered up all day and sitting in the warm press box. But you guys enjoy the weekend, and then we will obviously have a lot of breakdown on scenarios, everything else going on in college football and how it impacts Tennessee, and projecting where the Vols may be seated in this next ranking, and then ultimately in the final college football rankings in a couple of weeks. Exciting times. Take it all in. Vols are going to the playoffs unofficially, but it will happen. All right, I'm Vince Ferrara. That'll do it. Give us a follow on all the socials. Sports Animal 991. You can give me a follow on all the socials, Vince Sports, and then listen to Jimmy Himes and Tim Irwin on the Sunday Sports Sound Off. Podcast will be up there as well in case you missed it live, but it'll be fun to get some of those calls on the Tennessee win over Vanderbilt. And then all day long, starting on Monday, we'll have a complete recap of this one and what's ahead for the Vols in the postseason, starting with John Wilkerson and myself, 6 to 9, and then the Eric Gaines Show with Brian Rice, 6 to 9, and then Josh and Swain from noon to 3, and then Tyler and Will from 3 until 7. We'll break it down and enjoy this ride together. Thanks so much, everybody, for watching. I am Vince Ferrara from Nashville. Vols with the win over Vandy, 36-23. We'll talk to you later.